All right, welcome back. It was a very short break. It's a very short break as we're getting into this S&D, and it looks like the Baldwin Wallace team looks like they're starting out with a victory here. Bit of a surprise, like I said, this is what we were talking about. Maybe they can get in and take an early round to get the Saints off kilter, and it looks like they've done just that. We didn't see how it happened. Unfortunately, we did get to miss that, but I think they'll take it any way they can.
Yeah, I think everyone contributed on Baldwin Wallace's side. They all got a kill there, able to, spread the wealth accordingly. The Saints on defense now, gonna try to set up a position here. Cool spot by Cootie, able to call out some positions here. Brandon with the first blood, takes down, enjoy that L. Yozaki though, refrags onto Cootie, and now we're in an uncomfortable, was gonna be a 3v3, but now it's a 2v2 situation for the Saints. They need to be careful. They need to understand where this bomb could be heading. Corrupted in 10E on the side of Baldwin Wallace. Look to make some noise and take a 2-0 lead. Rupert and Brandon, meanwhile, are trying to stop them, trying to figure this out, trying to put the pieces in place as they look to defend and tie this match of search and destroy up early on. 35 seconds now as they head down onto this A site, and the bomb's heading down, but Rupert finds one and finds a second. It was a quiet sneak from Rupert. I really wasn't even aware that Rupert had that much of an advantage. A silent drop off that elevator. Surprised that the Baldwin Wallace players didn't really catch that. Corrupted is caught with the bomb heading down. Evan, what was going on right there?
Rupert was playing chess while everyone was playing checkers, apparently. I think that was a bit detrimental to Baldwin Wallace. They were taking so long to decide where they wanted to plant. I think they were trying to throw St. Clair off and play some mind games with them, trying to slow the pace down to the way they wanted to play it, but the Saints were not fooled by this, and this is really good for the Saints as well, because Brandon has been pulling all the way before Rupert had picked up those final 2 kills. So we will see if the Saints can respond with a plant, and it looks like they are going to be taking this quick A plant like they love to do. The bomb is already down, and now the Saints enter the post plant, defending these spiral stairs. Cootie finds not one, but two. Joy that L looking for a third. He does find Tenny. Can he get the ace? He does. Cootie with the ace. The Saints take a 2-1 lead. He is fired up and happy about that. Excellent work from Cootie to secure that there.
It's good to see some smiles on the Saints' faces after that first round loss. Cootie wiping the board with Baldwin Wallace's team right there. In a perfect position in that basement spot, just on top of that computer. Able to just pick and choose his targets. The Saints heading into defense. Now with a lead, there's no point in looking back. You just want to end this one here. Don't give any second thought to Baldwin Wallace's strategy. Corrupted with the bomb heading out down to this A site super quick. The Saints possibly aware of this as Rupert catches one on to enjoy that L. Now the Saints again, like we had mentioned in that pre-show, just need to play this live advantage perfectly in order to win this one and take a 3-1 lead as Baldwin Wallace is Corrupted. Looks to scout out the rest of this map. He's potentially calling to his teammates here saying, hey guys, I'm not sure that anyone is on this B site, but 10E says, I know where they are. They're on the A site. It's Cootie. A beautiful shot. And now the Saints in a great spot as Siwa takes down Zaki, and Corrupted refrags in a 1v3 scenario. Can he find some magic to bring this to a 2-2? It doesn't really look like he is going to find anything as the Saints try to surround them. He finds one onto Rupert, potentially finds another, but Cootie shuts down the dream. Another fantastic play right there from the Saints to surround Corrupted on the back of the map right there and end this one quick.
No, it looked like for a second that dream was going to become a reality. Corrupted was hitting some pretty good shots there, but just couldn't withstand that onslaught by the Saints. They just had him trapped in spawn, just no way out there. And again, another round where Baldwin Wallace is really taking their time to execute onto the sites, and that's really been detrimental because the Saints, they like to send people around on these huge rotates back into spawn. They're not afraid to overextend even just that little bit, and Baldwin Wallace has just had no answer for it. It looks like the Saints are going for this quick A plant like they love to do. Cootie already in. Corrupted does find Rupert though. Saints down one, but the bomb is down on A. So now Brandon ties it back up, gets enjoy that LC wads, taking out Zaki. It's all up to Corrupted and Tenny to pull this one back for Baldwin Wallace. Tenny trying to get back around. Saints watching that elevator. Brandon, though, gets caught out by Tenny. Just didn't see him at all. All set at 2 as the Saints in the spot. Cootie back in that spot we saw him earlier. Does find 2 again. He is so good on that head glitch. You cannot stop that man if he gets set up properly.
He is warm. He is here. He is Cootie. A beautiful double. That's 6 kills from this position alone in this match. On fire right now at 8-2. The Saints looking pretty dominant here after maybe a little bit of a misstep in that first round. Back on the defense as Baldwin Wallace looks to, kind of recapture some of that magic that they found in that first round. But the Saints, I think their defense has just been so rock solid. As Corrupted grabs this bomb, the Saints are, putting a heavy presence towards A. Zaki taking up a forward position mid here as Brandon gets into a little bit of a gunfight. Seawads finds one onto enjoy that L. Cootie now tries to make something happen in the back line. Oh, he finds one onto 10E as 10E takes out Brandon. A nice refrag from the Saints right there. Up 3-1. Cootie onto Corrupted as it's all up to Zaki here. Another clutch scenario for Baldwin Wallace. It's not looking great. Finds a couple of shots now, but it's just getting berated by this St. Clair College defense. 5-1 for the Saints.
Yeah, not really much in terms of notes for the Saints on that one there. Just continuing to show their dominance. Cootie just refusing to go down in this one. He has really found that third gear, and he is locked into it super hard. The Saints have that win in sight. Only one round away. Just have to put them away in this one, but the Saints are looking to do it right here, right now. Let's see how Baldwin Wallace can respond. Can they make the comeback? I don't think so, but for the sake of drama, we will say that maybe they can. Let's see, the Saints have the bomb now. Cootie is the carrier. We're going to see which site they decide to execute on. Cootie not making any moves. Still in spawn. Not sure. Rupert's going on this huge flank here. I don't think Baldwin Wallace has any idea what's happening here. The Saints are trying some interesting things here as now Cootie is on the move with the bomb. Looks like they're going for a B rotate as Rupert does find one, finding a second one. That's Tenny and Zaki going down. Baldwin Wallace down to their last 2. That's Corrupted finding Brandon in the main building. But let's see if Rupert is going to make this play here in mid. Didn't even see him at all as Rupert finishing Corrupted and enjoy that L. Baldwin Wallace can definitely enjoy that L as now they go down 2-0 in this series as the Saints make it look incredibly easy in that one.
Yeah, really, like I said, there was no looking back. Once they had taken the lead, they had just clamped down on Baldwin Wallace. Cootie, just a phenomenal game, really. A highlight reel after highlight reel. Every round it seemed like he was making some kind of impact, whether it was fragging out or bringing the bomb to the site, calling out the players' positions in that, kind of mid position around that artillery cannon right there. It was kind of clinical from the Saints. Even when it looked maybe a little bit shaky, they were able to just lock in and find the win right there.
And this isn't even surprising. I mean, we've seen this happen before. I think the Saints dropping 1 or 2 rounds in S&D isn't really a surprise. I mean, like we said, we talked about it in the pre-show where sometimes when they switch modes, the first round, it's a little rusty or, things aren't just clicking properly or maybe they just have to readjust with comms. And we saw it right there. You drop 1, then the next 6, you just go on that run, right? They just make it look so easy. And that really just shows you that, like we said, the Saints team just really playing on an elite level right now. I mean, when you have Cootie putting up like 2016 LeBron-like numbers in an S&D game, like you're cruising from there. Like there's just no, like you said, you just no one in sight that can really stop you.
Yeah, the Saints looked good, and they looked good on the scoreboard as well. I think almost everyone, contributed, as we can see. The scoreline tells, maybe a different story, but Cootie, of course, dominating Rupert and Brandon, following behind, and Seawad's, playing, respectable 3-3, and overall, I think the Saints are happy with that. Corrupted, trying to put something together right there for Baldwin Wallace, but overall, they really just were caught out of position a lot, and when they weren't caught out of position, Cootie was just mowing them down. There was nothing they could do.
Yeah, that head glitch spot that he was abusing on that A site is just so strong. I mean, if you're in a even just like a slightly awkward angle, like there's just no way that any of your shots are going to be registering on to the side, of Cootie's side in this case, who was taking advantage of this head glitch. And I mean, even without that, like I said, just being in the right spot, making those rotations, making those call outs like he was doing, like that is exactly what like an MVP type player is capable of doing. We are going to get into this next round here. No break in between. We are all gas, no breaks, baby, as we are in this final round. Not final round, potentially. We'll see. We will see, but we are in control. We're back on Vault. Saints looking to make some progress happen on A. Already got the first echelon taken, and they're looking for more here as Baldwin Wallace trying to get something going. Do they have a spark to keep this series going to a game 4? We will see who is going to be taking this control one here. As enjoy that L, clearing out A. That first pie piece though still in the Saints' control as the Saints do get back on it. The lives though, Baldwin Wallace with an early lead here. Let's see if the Saints can capitalize on that and sort of recapture that, enjoy that L with a nice jump shot onto Cootie though, but Brandon with a double there, cleaning it up. The Saints' progress on A keeps going up, and it looks like they're going to take it.
Yeah, really almost no resistance right there from Baldwin Wallace as they capture that first 8 point. A minute added to their timer. It looked, a little bit promising at the start for Baldwin Wallace right there. 10E with a couple frags and shut down once again by Rupert and Cootie to follow suit. Yep, caster curse. Rupert, another one on to Zaki right now. It's really just been a lot of green since that first start as Seawad's playing a little bit of double agent onto Rupert right now. But the Saints are just moving onto these points. B point already 1.5 ticks in. Rupert, another one onto Corrupted, cannot find the second onto Zaki. The Baldwin Wallace team, they really need to set up here on a better position for this B side. Be aware of enjoy that L's position, and he is going to punish him with a beautiful headshot. Tries to get into this long range position. 10E, 2 beautiful kills onto Brandon and Seawads to make it interesting now. The lives in the advantage of Baldwin Wallace University, 14-10. The Saints, they are running out of lives, and frankly, the time isn't really in their favor as well. They need to find something quick here as Seawads takes one down onto 10E, and Cootie follows suit onto Yozaki. They need to close this gap between the lives. 1 minute left. 10E, though, is on fire. 9-4 as Cootie shuts down Corrupted. Brandon onto Zaki. Less than a minute now. The Saints need to find something, and it's not looking great.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to go for this B capture, just trying to hope that they can last long enough. They finally get possession. They get the lead back in terms of lives here, but it's only by 1 here, but it's not even going to matter as B is going to be taking St. Clair after a bit of a rough start. They managed to come back and frankly steal that one away from Baldwin Wallace. It's like you were saying, 10E is just, he's putting it into another gear right now. He is fighting for his life here. 9-5 in that first round, taking home the best play. Really solid round from him.
Yeah, I thought Baldwin Wallace, they played quite well right there. They were in a really prime position right there to win, but they kind of lost one big team fight near that B site, unable to rotate back in to deny the Saints capturing, and just unfortunately, their frags go to waste as they head down 1-0, but they're on the attack now. Who knows, they might have something up their sleeve right here, maybe made the Saints sweat just a little bit, but they head out now, the Saints, onto a defensive positioning here. Baldwin Wallace tries to make something happen on A early on. Cootie with a beautiful headshot onto 10E. Zaki back onto Rupert. Who cares about A site when we can attack B early on? Cootie with Brandon, and Corrupted with that beautiful double as the Saints look to refrag. Lives close early on here, and Baldwin Wallace not really moving the hard point as fast as the Saints did.
No, not because when the Saints are really rushing that B point as well, it's really hard to get set up. But the Saints are just trying to get this map control that they sorely lacked in that last one. The Saints love playing on Vault. This is one of their better matches. So when they're able to get that control and just control the pace of the game, it's game over for them. That's exactly what they're playing for right now, and that's what Tenny is trying to stop. Just couldn't land those shots on Seawads. Really tough shot being far away, but the Saints already up in terms of lives pretty early on here, 26-17, as Corrupted trying to get B under control for Baldwin Wallace to keep that clock ticking. 35 seconds to go. Saints up by 11 with the clock at 30 seconds now. Baldwin Wallace has to move quick if they want to keep this round going, because the Saints are already smelling that 2-0 as Cootie continuing to try and get these members of Baldwin Wallace on the rotation, trying to keep this mid in control for the Saints. Still a lot of green in that kill feed, but the Saints aren't going to commit to capping A. 14 seconds left. Clock does stop as the point is contested now. Brandon clearing it out for St. Clair, keeping that clock going. 10 seconds now as the rest of the Baldwin Wallace team trying to get onto the point. Just stepping on it will stop that clock, but it's not going to happen unless Enjoy That L can get there, and he can. Rupert's going to get him, and St. Clair with a dominant second round here. Match point for the Saints.
They had nothing up their sleeve. I thought they were going to. I thought maybe, you know, a little bit of a better effort on the defensive side for sure for Baldwin Wallace right there. I think we have Rupert's best play right here, but I think the real MVP of this round is Brandon. That was some great rotations from A to B right there. Under the site, in that actual vault, rotating out on from one side to the other. Just some beautiful work right there from the coach. 12-7. All the Saints really equal in kills. Just, you know, everyone's having a game right here. They can close the series out with almost no sweat the entire way through. It's just about how they attack. Can they be as aggressive as they were the first time around? Seawads finds two early on. Baldwin Wallace tries to refrag, but Rupert is having none of it. Two of his own onto Corrupted in 10E. Saints out to a strong start. A triple from Rupert onto Zaki. It is a work of art from the Saints early on. Cootie, another double. It seems like it's just double after triple for the Saints. 25-23 on lives. The A site is being captured. It is not looking great for Baldwin Wallace University.
No, and I know we've been saying that a lot tonight, but we're really seeing the dominance of the Saints in full fruition here. Cootie picking up another two just for good measure, but it's not going to help Baldwin Wallace take A, though, as A is going to be in control of the Saints. Another minute added onto that clock here as we are tied up in live, so excuse me, of course, as I say that, Saints pick up two more to go up two. So now it's all up to this B site here, and it looks like the Saints are going to be electing to go for that spawn trap to keep Baldwin Wallace out, though. Tenny, though, picking up both Brandon and Cootie on B. Catching the Saints, lacking a little bit, but Rupert picking up two of his own here in response. Then Tenny going down as well, and now the Saints control B, and they just have to hold Baldwin Wallace off of it, and then they are going to be victorious in this one here. One tick is down. Enjoy That L, taking out Brandon. Can't take out Cootie, though. Like we said, Cootie just so good in any situation. He is having a real heater today. 19 kills again, just doing it all himself. Is Corrupted finding Brandon on the site, but Rupert is going to come in and clean him up as more members of Baldwin Wallace fall to the Saints here. One more tick, and that's going to do it for this one here. As Zaki trying to get onto the point quickly, but he cannot. The Saints cruise to an easy 3-0 victory over Baldwin Wallace there, as the boys are real happy on the player cams there. Rupert taking home the best play, 21-12. For all you Rush fans out there, that's a nice little reference for you, as Rupert finishing it out with the best play here. Yeah, throw that trophy system down, man. Looked real good in there, and then Enjoy That L getting a mid-air. I think I made a couple Enjoy That L jokes today already, so I will refrain from making any more. But What more can we say? Just a nice, dominant win from the Saints on all facets.
Yeah, I really like the way they played that. They, maybe struggled at the gate once again onto control. I think they kind of underestimate their opponent's, kind of first plan, but once they can kind of adapt to how they like to defend or like to attack, in the case of Baldwin Wallace in that second round, they really play it well. They understand how to rotate. Brandon, like I had mentioned, was just in a constant motion from A to B on those defensive holds, and when you have guys like Cootie and Seawads that can frag out the way they do, it's really easy for Brandon to catch guys on the rotates. And Rupert, of course, always holding it down on those objectives, always, filling up the feet. It seemed like it was a double kill fest out there. It was Rupert, it was Cootie, it was Seawads, it was Brandon. It was somebody on the Saints lighting up the scoreboard, and no matter what they did, it felt like everything Baldwin Wallace tried just didn't work out.
No, you're exactly right, and I think the other great thing too is that even in one game where like if Rupert's really fragging out in one, and then maybe has a bit low, like, a bit worse stat line another game, like someone else is picking it up right for him. It's like they're so good at just like you said, playing as a team and picking each other up when they need to, and that's the sign of just an absolutely elite team and a team that just gels very well together, plays very well together, and sky's the limit really. I mean, we only have 1 week left of College COD. I can't really see the Saints dropping another one next week. So it's looking like a very high seed coming up in the playoffs. So, like I said, just the Saints keep cruising, and they're going to be really tough to beat down the stretch as we're going to take a look at the stats from the last game. Once again, 3 members of the Saints over 20. Brandon picking it up at the end, 12 and 13, but he was doing, he was rotating a lot. He was doing some good work there on the side of BWU. Joy that L and Tenny tying with 14, Corrupted, Yozaki with 11. Just not, Tenny was really picking it up near the end there, and we were talking about Corrupted as well. He was hitting some really good shots, so there was some really good play out of Baldwin Wallace. They definitely have a very strong team. It's just the Saints are just so much better in every aspect.
Yeah, there's levels to it, right? I think if you're Baldwin Wallace, you got to take something away from that game. It's 10E. 10E was putting up a fight whenever he could, and tried his best to make it competitive. In the end, it just felt like the Saints were more prepared, played better as a team, like we always mention, and able to win those duels. As we can see, the kills speak for themselves on the side of the Saints, and the score speaks for itself as well. Really, no resistance from Baldwin Wallace right there. A clean sweep, a clean 3-0 in control, and a clean 3-0 in this series. The Saints keep that perfect record alive, and I really can confidently say the sky is the limit for this team.
No, they absolutely have high expectations for themselves, and I think everybody else has high expectations for them. I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean, we've seen it firsthand with how good they are. Like, week after week, they're just so consistent in their play. I mean, there really isn't anybody that can really stop them. I mean, like, you look at someone like Fisher or Northwood or, these other huge teams, that we're probably going to end up meeting in the playoffs here. Those are going to be absolutely powerhouse matchups, Clash of the Titans. It's going to be so exciting as we start preparing for playoffs here. But I just want to bring it back to the Saints here. Let's take it back to now. And who is your MVP right now on this team from tonight?
I'm gonna go on a limb and say that Cootie is the MVP. The human highlight reel. He had some phenomenal plays tonight, almost in every aspect. Was just dominating in Search and Destroy, was dominating there on Control, and of course, it seemed like everyone on the side of the Saints was, kind of dominating. But look at that, 60 kills, 29 deaths. It's beautiful work, 16 assists. You can't ask for much more. Almost hit that 7K damage mark, but, maybe something to improve on a little bit for Cootie right there. But again, you can't ask for much more, especially for a guy that's so vocal when you're playing as well. They're just able to, play perfectly.
Speaking of Cootie, we have him on the mic for an interview. So we are going to throw it to him to see what the MVP has to say after that great performance that he had.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
What's up, Cootie? How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, I hear you perfectly.
All right, perfect. Okay, Cootie. Biggest thing. You couldn't get the 7,000 damage. I mean, like, what are we doing here? You had 6,999. You couldn't just get one more shot to hit over 7,000. What's going
Holy
on here, man?
shit. I'm running it down, bro. You know how we ball over here. Like the boys are feeling confident, so happy that we are performing. Of course, um, we're waiting for playoffs, cause right there is when like the toughest competition um, show up to play. So yeah, we're putting in the work with the boys, and yeah, we're happy that we're performing and keep collecting those W's for St. Clair.
All right, now walk me through Search and Destroy. You drop that first round, and then you come back and you take 6 in a row. And you particularly had just an absolutely outstanding game. Like, just kind of walk me through sort of the mentality shift that goes on. You know, if you drop a like you drop a round early, like what is the shift that happens with you and the rest of the team?
Nah, pretty much. To be honest, the play calls were like, look over me. I'm running it down, and I think I hit like good timings pretty much all the rounds. So it was a little bit of lucky, and I'm going rogue, but that's it. Like I trust in my teammates, and they trust me. So happy with that.
I gotta say, I think you all played fantastic tonight. First of all, what was something that you guys have been working on recently that it really felt like it came to fruition tonight? You were able to see the difference tonight compared to your past couple of games.
I think we're just trying to play some like disciplined COD, and it's showing up. Like of course, like KB, Siwa, Trooper, we all play challengers, and we play like high level competition. So we really know how to control the map and stuff. And right now, like we're playing, like most of the people we're playing right now, they don't play challengers. So I know that it's tough for them to play against like challengers players and people who like play like 3 scrims a day against like good people, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Disciplinary COD. That is the key for Cootie tonight. I really don't know what else to say. You guys played lights out like always. It's always a pleasure to watch your guys' games. It's just so easy for you guys. It seems like.
Thank you, bro. Thank you guys for casting every match and putting in the energy. I see your work, and yeah, thank you for having me here.
We appreciate it, man. Thank you for doing the interview with us, and
Yep.
have a great night. Enjoy the victory, and on to the next.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a good night too.
Thank you,
I'll
Cootie.
see you.
Wasn't that a lovely interview?
It was
Wasn't
great.
that just a
It was great. He's
just
a great
good
guy.
vibes interview? Just a lovely interview
He's
there.
a
My
great guy.
Argentinian king. I mean, we really like to say. I mean, I did. That's too bad. I had one more question for him. You know, he left too early.
I left you.
You left,
I
you
left
left
you
me
out to
too
dry.
early. You know, it's okay. I was just gonna say, like we're really gonna see, like, want to talk to him, just like where, what is, the limit? What is the ceiling for this team right now? And I feel like I know what he would say, but still would have been nice to hear
It would have
from
been nice. It would have been nice, but hey, we got one more week of college COD, and maybe that's something to ask on the way out, right? On the way out of the regular season, what are the expectations going into the playoffs? I think we might all know the answer, but it's good to ask anyways, for sure. But I think that's kind of it. That's kind of it. We were supposed to have a
Kind of
doubleheader
it.
tonight. Unfortunately, the second match is not happening, but that's all for us here at St. Clair College. This college COD broadcast. I want to thank everyone in the back room, our observer Ari on replay, Theo, Matthias directing, and Adrian helping out with everything around the graphics, the camera, the lighting. It was all fantastic, and thank you all for watching. I want to thank our sponsors as well: Subway, Tim Hortons, Alienware, St. Clair Saints SRC, and the St. Clair Alumni Association. That's it for me, Hayden King, also known as Phaser, and my wonderful co-caster Evan Johnson, not really Evan, commonly referred to as, and that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great night, Saints Nation, and we will see you guys very soon.